Let's stop asking kids what they want to be when they grow up. Why do we do this? I think a lot of it is conditioning, and kids can be horrible to have conversations with other people, strangers, kids. But I've started asking, what would you change when you're a grown up, or when you're grown? What would you like to create? Let's ask them what they do for fun. What would they make better? I mean, the ideas will mostly be unattainable, but if you can't dream, what's the point? Let's focus on the possible, not the inevitable. I'm still disappointed that my childhood goal of becoming a professional sports robot astronaut never came true. I was never able to answer this question as a child because every time I tried, my father would dress me down until I gave up on that idea as stupid and unattainable. Now I'm 31 and completely directionless because I'm convinced I'll fuck up anything I try because of my inner voice that sounds exactly like him. Definitely agree, as career isn't everything, and the question pressures a kid to commit to some job identity in adulthood, or is mother someone who makes amazing Lego castles a valid response? Little Timmy wants to be an Amazon fulfillment worker. I just wanted to be alive since I couldn't see myself making it to 20. A traumatic childhood really puts the damper on long-term planning. I ask this to learn to know what the kid thinks is fun. My 10-yo wants to be a pizza cook astrophysicist combo. I love that for him. I always hated getting asked this. Like, no, I don't dream of labor. Holy shit, thank you. My daughter is 18, and all last year during her senior year, every single person who knew she was a senior said, "What are you studying in college next year?" Or something similar. It actually gave her such a complex that she didn't go at all. She was tired of telling everyone she wasn't sure on a major because when she did, they would ask what she liked to do and lecture her to hell and back. Most kids give crazy answers when you ask them what they want to be when they grow up. So I don't think the question is limiting. Per se, hell. My kid has said he wants to be a tiger when he grows up. I've trained my 7-yo to say I want to be a good person. When people ask him what he wants to be when he grows up, people are surprised and don't really have a follow-up prepped. Nothing wrong with the question in itself. Big part of the issue is the answers and those who entertain it. The issue is whether the answer is realistic and parents fostering their ideas. My son, when he was 6, told me he wanted to be an astronaut. I did just say cool, rather I explained what he needed to do to achieve the goal, that he'd have to learn about science and math. Also that he had to pick a major that's usable, such as engineering or being a pilot. Yeah, he was 6, but now at age 10, he has an interest in engineering and still interested in space, and I just foster it. No, it's a harmless concept that engages their minds to think about the future and the world around them. Kids are curious and intuitive. It's a great conversation starter with little ones, and they should always express themselves even if their answer is absolutely bonkers. There is nothing wrong with that question. It answers what and how your child perceives their surroundings and what is most influential at that given point in time. They will not find fun in their work, as most of us do. There is no way to prepare them for that. Their answer or wish for change will most likely not happen. Not in your time or in theirs. There is no point in dreaming. It is a parent's job to shape their children's future and possibilities in a way that provides a good foundation for their character to grow upon. You know where the problems are that your child cannot grasp until the early 20s. I want to be a superintendent. Or a caterpillar. I always hated this question. I never had an answer other than that I wanted to camp, fish and draw. I think I learned too young that there's a right answer when certain adults like parents ask, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I want to do XYZ. What else? I remember getting asked this as a kid. I answered happy. I try to avoid asking this. For the same reason I don't like asking other grown-ass adults what they do for a living. It ain't all about work. Despite our dumb work identity culture. Ask literally anything else. What do you do for fun? What's your favorite book, movie, food, etc.? Do you like birds, cats, dogs, cars, sports, etc.? I'm interested in you as a person, not your means of income or what you aspire to do for a living. Not a parent, but I do a lot of hiring of young adults. And when interviewing new grads, 20-somethings, I learned to stop asking questions like where do you see yourself in 5 years? None of them ever knew. I always got very generic responses. I never got anything meaningful, and it makes them feel lacking. Even at 20-something, they still need explore, observe, fail, learn. Otherwise, there's no basis for forming a personal opinion. I like to ask, how do you want to be part of the world? It doesn't have a quick, easy answer. But I think it's a better thinking question. It also helps people to not equate their purpose in life with their work. Nah. Let kids have their dreams and fun. Everyone is something. They don't have to answer with a strict job. There's nothing wrong with asking kids what they want to be when they grow up. It's totally fine for them to say IDK, but it's also fine for them to say doctor or astronaut. No harm in that at all. I think it's a well-intentioned question. I also just find it isn't helpful because children don't know shit about themselves. And also because life never goes according to plan anyway. Like maybe you get a prodigy that really fucking loves playing piano from the age of 3. And has a disciplined 30-step plan to achieve being a concert pianist. Or whatever. But that's not most people. A better question is, where would they like to visit growing up? That leads to a ton more fascinating answers that give you great insights into that kid-teen's mind. The answer might be the world's biggest turtle sanctuary in Corsica. Or maybe an old sports stadium 2 towns over. Mars. The Mariana Trench. Nepal. The Lego house in Denmark. Port-au-Prince, or a New Orleans house that is supposedly haunted. Regardless, you're in for quite a treat. Or at the very least, stop asking the question in the context of work and career. What kind of person do you want to be? What kind of hobbies do you want to pursue? What interests do you hope to nurture? It's like the old, cliched icebreaker in small talk situations. So, what do you do? Fuck that. I do not, and did not, want to be defined by the shit I have to endure to survive. What do you dream your future will be like? Is a nice one, I think. You are doing the same thing and you think is different? Why should they change anything? Instead of asking who they want to be, you suggest they should be changing something. And create? So activist and a creator is what you push them to be. Absolutely, let's stop basing their purpose on work. I love how kids nowadays are saying I don't know more often. They should not need to figure this out. Instead, we should help kids figure out whether they would enjoy working alone, interacting with people, and so on. That can inform about types of jobs, and subsequently types of studies. No, they must dream. How do you plan to generate enough income to please the most greediest citizens in this hellhole we brought you into unwillingly? Yeah, probably too much for a kid to comprehend, but at least it's honest. We do this because it inspires a kid's imagination. We do this because that's how kids play and learn and experience things. This question teaches kids about forward planning, about thinking about the future. Asking what they want to be when they grow up is like playing a mini RPG with the kid. Agree. Let kids grow into themselves. So much stress comes from choosing one title and the pressure of needing to stick to it. Most of them say they want to be a YouTuber, social media influencer, LMAO.